to all the hype.
Two teams that have combined to win 11 Super Bowl titles. The Steelers and the Niners are underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. Leading them out will be the three-time Super Bowl champion, the MVP of Super Bowl 29, the dynamic Steve Young.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005. After the sack on first down, Young. Tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Steve Young. Another target for Stephon Diggs, and he brings it in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's a gain of nearly 30 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Young now. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Seven yards there.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
First down, Young. This is caught. It's Kirk. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian Kirk, 28 yards. And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
This one fielded at the 5. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50. So the Steelers now in great shape to begin their initial possession. They'll be led out by their 6'3" quarterback, the former Wolverine at Michigan. It's Chad Henne. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Defense.
What's the deal, y'all? So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down. Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Matt Breida, 24 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. Had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the socks?
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get it inside the 20. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Back to throw here. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have moved out in front. Butker on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yep.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 21-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. For the 49ers settling in for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On 2nd and 11 now. Young throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Young on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He's going to let it go again. And this is caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Michael Irvin, 42 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Now Young. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run again with Breida. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Matt Breida with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the rout is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. And flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense.
Oh, and now Young here throwing another interception. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jerome Bettis, 48 yards. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and a route is on here in this first half. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They go with Chubb on second down. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Running the ball could be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They run it again with Chubb. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions. There he goes, right side. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Fred Biletnikoff, 63 yards. And the Steelers are pouring it on. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he roams across. To the 24-yard line. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Young will set to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And Chubb will try the middle here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. And again, it's Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing, Young. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Up the middle they run with Bettis. And some room to work. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jerome Bettis with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes...
And he's in! Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Jerome Bettis punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Young, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Willie Lanier, and he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Young on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Steve Young. And Diggs has it. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you...
And now here's another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. 20, 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Butker now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
Here's Hill on the return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Gets around him. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The second down throw for Steve Young, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The third down throw, incomplete by Steve Young.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And this will be taken at the 13. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage